Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a hell of a show in store for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Now, as you guys know, we officially got the word that JJ Redick has been hired as the Lakers head coach. We had done a live about 2 to 3 days before it happened, where we basically said, hey, listen, people are saying that some pretty reputable sources are saying that he's going to get the job, right? And then 2 or 3 days later, they ended up making their decision public. So they hired JJ Redick. I think he has a 4-year deal worth $32 million. So the Lakers ended up saving money in the process because they didn't have to pay Dan Hurley that money, which goes to show you that that's the guy that they really wanted. So now with JJ Redick being the next head coach, it then brings up the next batch of questions, which is, what kind of coach is he going to be? Who's he going to prioritize? Is he going to prioritize, the team, players like Anthony Davis and others, or is he going to prioritize his buddy LeBron, who he actually has a show with? And now we got to ask the question: what happens to that show? Does it continue or does it get canceled? I think the show gets canceled because I don't know how you're going to be the head coach of the Lakers and then doing a show, and especially if the Lakers don't do well, people like you got time to do a show, you ain't got time to focus on it. So I think that show is going to be at least put on hold for now, right? So I came across a segment today from ESPN First. I think it happened on Friday, and the panel featured Kendrick Perkins and Udonis Haslem, and essentially what they were discussing was, who should JJ Redick prioritize in terms of relationships? Should he prioritize Anthony Davis, or should he prioritize LeBron James? And if you guys know anything about what's been happening between Kendrick Perkins and LeBron James, Kendrick Perkins essentially got fed up with LeBron. He got fed up of his antics. He had been calling him out on Twitter, calling him out from time to time. The last one was when he made some comments about Kyrie Irving, talking about he missed having him as a teammate when he tried to get him traded twice for Paul George and Chris Paul. And then now he was like, stop trying to steal somebody's shine. And then LeBron James unfollowed him. So when it came time for, so now you know Kendrick Perkins is going to say what he really believes. I don't know why he didn't do that in the first place. But when it came time for Kendrick Perkins to essentially answer the question of who they prioritize, he totally shut down the idea of JJ Redick prioritizing LeBron James over Anthony Davis. So those are the comments that we want to focus on today. But before we even get into what Kendrick Perkins had to say, today's video is brought to you by sponsor PrizePicks, which is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. PrizePicks is really simple. Instead of just selecting a team, you just select 2 or more players, pick more or less their projected stats, and then you place your entry. For example, this week, I'm selecting 2 entries: Stephen Curry for more than 25 points, and then I got Anthony Davis for more than 2 blocks, and Damian Lillard for more than 4 3-pointers made. PrizePicks is also the only daily sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So for example, if you have a player who gets injured in the first half and doesn't return to the second half, that player gets automatically rebooted. What I also love about PrizePicks is that it offers weekly promotions like Taco Tuesdays. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is want to play exactly what Kendrick Perkins had to say on ESPN First Take, and then want to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to Kendrick Perkins here.
Here's the thing, right? When it comes to the Lakers and JJ Redick, this is all about Anthony Davis. This is all about Anthony Davis. I know we just played the sound bite of me yesterday, but we did that. That was off of NBA Today. UD was on set with me. As soon as we started, they announced the breaking news right when we were on the show. And right after they announced that, we went into conversation, and I don't remember if it was Ramona Shelburne or Dave McMenamin, but one of them had talked about how Anthony Davis is pushing to get Rondo on the bench. And the first thing came to my mind is, damn, why? Right? We know that they won a championship together. We know Rondo is one of the best basketball minds to ever play the game of basketball. We get all that. But what I took from it is, AD is like, hey, Bron, you got your guy in JJ Redick. I need my guy in Rajon Rondo on the bench, a guy that I could fully trust. Again, it's about trust. It's about gaining their respect. I heard UD talk about this 3 weeks ago, or maybe 4 weeks, about a month ago, when he was talking about, if JJ Redick get hired, how guys are going to have that thought in the back of their head. Can we trust this? Is it coming from JJ or is it coming from Bron? This is a real thing. No matter how we want to sugarcoat it, no matter how we don't want to address it, it is a real thing because they had a podcast together and guys in that locker room know how close they are now. And that matters. So you gotta, if you're JJ, you gotta establish a relationship with the most important player on this team, and that's Anthony Davis. You gotta get that understood.
So you heard what Kendrick Perkins, what he had to say there. I think he's telling the truth. And I think what he said was sensible. You need to prioritize Anthony Davis because he's the star that's going to be leading this franchise into the future. He's the one that the Lakers hitched their wagon to, right? They decided that he was going to be the successor to LeBron. But what does that really mean by prioritizing Anthony Davis? Here's what I think of when I say prioritizing Anthony Davis. An example of that could be ensuring that he's the number one shot taker on the team. That would help. That would certainly help. Ensuring that Anthony Davis is always in the right mindset in terms of being on attack mode. Ensuring that LeBron James is a complimentary star to Anthony Davis instead of a co-star. Some people say, well, that's outlandish. That's the bloody truth. If you look at the Lakers in round one against the Denver Nuggets, Anthony Davis was the Lakers' best player. It wasn't even close. All of the majority of the offense should be going through him. If AD takes 20 shots a game, LeBron should be somewhere around 13. And LeBron should now be more of a facilitator trying to get other guys involved. It'd be difficult because LeBron stat pads. So he wants to get his numbers. If JJ Redick emphasizes Anthony Davis in the way that they're talking about, you will see Anthony Davis become the focal point of that offense, where it's running through him, where you don't have points and stretches in the game where AD doesn't even touch the ball when he's the hottest hand, like what we saw in the playoffs last year, when I think he had like 20-something points in the first half. I don't remember what the hell he had. He could have finished that game with 50 and said he didn't. You can't have situations like that, and it's becoming upon the coach to communicate that to his players that, listen, this guy needs to get the ball, and also get in Anthony Davis's ear, like, demand the damn ball as well. That's what it means to me. Not just, hey, AD, what do you think about? No, that's not what it needs to translate on the court. This is how I'm interpreting this particular situation there. LeBron has had his time in the sun. There's nothing new that LeBron is going to do that's going to impress anyone in terms of what there's nothing new unless he goes out there and wins a championship or something like that. He's already scored over 40,000 points. So he's already gotten that feather in his hat. So to me, that's what I interpret. Excuse me. That's how I interpret them saying, or Kendrick Perkins saying, they need to prioritize Anthony Davis, but that's just how I view it. So what I want to know from you, the audience, number one, who does JJ Redick need to prioritize? Does it need to be Anthony Davis, or does it need to be LeBron James? And number two, actually, and number three, let me just throw this point out there as well. JJ also has to show the willingness to be able to hold LeBron James accountable in front of his teammates, because you will lose your locker room rather quickly if you're busy holding all the other players accountable and you're not holding LeBron. You can't tell so-and-so player, why didn't you get back on defense when LeBron is not playing D? That's just not going to work. And the players may not feel comfortable to say it, but they will definitely be watching to see if the coach does. And if they see that the coach is afraid to call out his stars, you're going to lose those guys. And then we're going to be up here a year and a half from now. JJ Redick has lost the voice in the locker room. What do y'all think we should do? Do the Lakers need to fire JJ? We're going to be right back where we started. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.